Hello my favorite friends, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Monica. I go by Mika Knits here on YouTube and over on Instagram, and today is going to be a little bit of a different video than my normal vlog or normal videos, normal podcasts. Today I'm taking you along on the Puget Sound local yarn shop tour. So I live in the Pacific Northwest. I live in Washington State, and every year, well, I don't know every year, but I think they do it every year. There's a group rather that puts on a Puget Sound local yarn shop tour, and they have many a yarn shop on this local tour. And when you visit the yarn shop as a shopper, you get to get a free pattern and visit some of the yarn shops that are in the local area, discover new places, and it's just a great time. I think it's so much fun. I did this tour last year. I did take you guys along. Feel free to check out my video on last year's Puget Sound local yarn shop tour. This year around is going to be a little bit different because me and my mom are going just like last time, and I am going to take you guys along, but unfortunately we just don't have the time to visit. I apologize for the barking dogs. Let me see if I can go to a different place. Sorry, let me just go this way. Okay, different area of the house. So last year when I took you guys along, I think we visited something like 9 or 10 yarn shops or something like that. We tried to get one of the prizes. I think if you visit so many yarn shops, however many it is, I think it starts at like 10. If you visit like 10 yarn shops, you can enter the drawing to win one of their daily prizes. I don't know what the prizes are or anything like that. So we did that last year. We didn't win anything, unfortunately, but we visited a lot of yarn shops last year. I think in the video that I made, I have like 7 or something like that we visited, but we visited like 9 or 10 of them. But this year, me and my mom, we're going to be doing a lot of driving. It's about 9, it's almost 10 o'clock right now, 10 a.m. The yarn shop's open at 10 a.m. We're leaving a little bit late, but we just unfortunately just don't have the time to visit a whole bunch of yarn shops this year, and we also don't want to leave our dogs at home alone all day long because, you know, they need to go outside to go to the bathroom and stuff like that. So can't really visit too many yarn shops this year, but we are going to visit at least 3 or 4 of them. So I'm going to take you along on our yarn shops tour. I believe we're going to be starting in Carnation, Washington. We're going to be going to Tolt Yarns. So I'm very excited to take you guys along. I take you guys with this DJI thing. It's like a vlogger kind of style, I suppose. So hopefully you don't mind. Hopefully it's not too shaky of a video. I'll try to fix that when editing. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's go! Alright, we're here in Carnation. And we're going there. So. here at Tolt Yarn, and we have a local yarn dyer here that we're going to ask the question. This is Jean. She's a newer yarn dyer, right? She owns a beautiful yarn called Junie and Sai. It's so beautiful. I'm buying some of her skeins. And I just wanted to ask her some questions, like how'd you get into yarn dyeing?
It was something that I was doing for myself, just as a hobby. Can I do this? And then when COVID started, and then I was like, well, I wonder if I can actually, if anybody else would like this. Here I am.
I love it. Yeah, I certainly love it. I love it.
Here.
What's your what is Junie and Sai?
Junie and Sai are Juniper and Silas, my grandkids.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Love those names. Isn't that great? Junie and Sai, so Jean is not currently in any yarn stores. She's definitely a new dyer.
Yep.
But there's talks that she could possibly be in some yarn stores soon. So I just wanted to introduce you guys to Junie and Sai. If you have any other questions, I could put her information in the description box down below. So, bye guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Welcome back. So we are back from our local yarn shop tour, the Puget Sound local yarn shop tour, and I just wanted to close out this video, show you my loot, show you what I bought, and share with you a little bit about the shops that we visited. We didn't visit too many, so this shouldn't be too long. But let's get into it. So the first shop that we visited was a shop over in Carnation, Washington. This is called Tolt Yarns and Wool. Tolt Yarns and Wool, I'm not sure when they opened. They've been in Washington for a little while. They are really just a Washington staple. Tolt Yarn and Wool is it's not a huge shop, but it is a decent sized shop. The entire shop has sort of like I think you saw from the video, but it has a very kind of almost industrial, woody, kind of mountainy feel to it. Is really, I think, the best way to describe that shop. It's really, really warm and inviting in there. The people that work there are incredibly helpful and just full of knowledge, and it's just a beautiful shop. They have incredible lighting, I think, as you saw from the video. They have a beautiful little couch where you can sit and knit and look at patterns, whatever you want to do. It's just a beautiful shop, and I highly recommend it. If you are in the Washington State area and you're looking for a yarn shop to visit, or if you live in the area and you haven't been to Tolt Yarns, check it out. I would really recommend doing a day trip out there to Carnation, Washington. I think totally worth it. So beautiful shop. That is the first shop that we visited. Now, during the Puget Sound local yarn shop tour, when you're doing the tour, they have a really cool thing. There's 20 shops included in the tour. As I said in the beginning of the video, we really weren't able to visit a whole lot of shops this time. We just really didn't have the time. We didn't visit too many. We only visited 4 total, 2 of which were new to us. But Tolt Yarn and Wool, I have been there before. I did notice that they were very busy when we visited. So the video that I got, there was just a ton of people walking around. It was only the second time that I visited that shop, and I just noticed this time during the yarn shop tour festival, it was not festival, but yarn shop tour, it was definitely busier than normal. So it's not quite always that busy, but it is a beautiful shop, and I highly recommend checking it out. Now, when you do the local yarn shop tour, each shop that you visit does give you a free pattern. So you get a free knitting pattern and a free crochet pattern. So Tolt Yarn and Wool did have a beautiful knitted shirt. It's a garment, very loose fitting kind of shirt. It was knit with a yarn that was cotton and merino mix base, so very kind of summery, very light and airy. It was a beautiful top, and then they had a beautiful crocheted headband for their other project, which is very cute, very 40s looking, very cute. So I did get both of those patterns. While we were there, they also had an incredible vendor at the shop. She owns a very new yarn dyeing company. She's very new in yarn dyeing. Her name is Jean. She owns Junie and Sai hand-dyed yarns. So Jean is from Washington. She does dye in Washington. I didn't ask her where exactly she is, but I will put her information in the description box down below so you can check out her Instagram and all that information. She was kind enough to answer a few questions for me. She's a little bit nervous about being on camera, but that's totally understandable and fine. But she was kind enough to let me know like how she got into dyeing, what Junie and Sai meant, and those were the only questions I had time to ask her because like I said, the shop was very busy. But I did purchase yarn from Tolt Yarn and Wool, and I did purchase Jean's yarn, Junie and Sai. So let me go ahead and show you. This is the yarn that I purchased. This is her mohair yarn, so it's the lace weight mohair yarn. This is 459 yards in a skein, 50 gram skein. There's 72% kid mohair and 28% silk in it. So it's a beautiful mohair. It's got a slight sheen with that silk in it, and it's just a really gorgeous mohair. Now this is the color that I bought here, and the reason that I purchased this one is because This is labeled as one hit wonder. This yarn actually doesn't have a name. This yarn was, as Jean said, it was a very happy accident. So basically it means that this yarn won't be available in the future, that this is like sort of a one-time thing, and that if you wanted to get this yarn for any projects that you're making, then you better purchase it because it's not going to be there again. So I went ahead and got this one because this is just a beautiful, beautiful color. It's actually my favorite colors. And it's just sort of it's almost like a variegated with different greens, and it's just a beautiful deep variegated mohair color yarn. So I really loved it. I do intend to purchase some of her other fingering weight yarns and perhaps make a garment with this yarn carried over with one of her fingering weight yarns, but I haven't figured out which garment I want to make with this. But I did purchase 3 skeins of this, and like I said, it has 459 yards in each skein, so I probably should have purchased 4, but I think I can get a good size garment out of this. I just don't know what I want to make yet. So, but anyway, this is the Junie and Sai yarn that I purchased from there, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. So that's the yarn that I purchased over at Holt Yarn and Wool. And yeah, I would just highly recommend checking out that yarn shop. It's, like I said, it's just a Washington staple. It's absolutely gorgeous. So that was the first shop. All right, the second shop that we visited was a shop that is new to us. Me and my mom had never been there before. It's called Quintessential Knits Yarn Shop over in Duvall, Washington. Duvall, Washington is about maybe 15 minutes away from Carnation, Washington, so it didn't take us too long to get there. Quintessential Knits, like I said, we hadn't been there before. It is a smaller size knit shop. It's not as big as some of the other yarn shops in the local area, but it is chock full of different yarns. Sometimes when little shops like that are just full of different yarns, sometimes it could be a little bit overwhelming for me and my mom, so we couldn't spend too much time there, but they had some beautiful patterns that they had on display for the local yarn shop tour. So they had a beautiful crocheted hat that was just really fun looking. The crochet hat was really cute. It was really gorgeous. So those are the patterns that we got there. I did also purchase yarn from there that I want to show you. So this is the yarn that I got from there. I got this awesome Juniper Moon Farms Zoe. It's a soft cotton linen blend yarn. I got this, let me see, it's got 60% cotton and 40% linen. So it's a very summery feel kind of yarn. It is soft, but it's not like merino soft, you know, it's just kind of like cottony soft, but it's really nice. There's 284 yards in each skein, and I did purchase 4 skeins. So I got 4 skeins of this yarn. I got this gorgeous colorway here. It's called Hazy Lilac. So it's really just kind of like a light purpley color. It's really beautiful. I do know what I'm going to make with this yarn. It's going to be my second summer top that I'm going to make this year for the Flock Fiber Festival coming up in August. I'm going to be making the pineapple top. I will pop a picture of the pineapple top here on the side so you can see what that looks like, but it's a beautiful summery top that you can knit with sort of like fluttery sleeves, or you can knit it as a tank. And it's got a beautiful lace front pattern in the front, and it's, like I said, very lightweight yarn, very summery top. So I can't wait to knit that top with this yarn here, this Juniper Moon Farms yarn. So obviously mine is going to be purple. But yeah, that's the yarn that I purchased. That I got 4 skeins of that, like I said. And then I also had another yarn vendor, a local yarn vendor there. She's a dyer that dyes out of Duvall, Washington, so she's very local to the area. This is her company here called Lavender Sheep, and I purchased this little mini skein from her. This is her sparkle sock base, so it's got the glitteries in it. I don't know if you can see the glitteries, but it's got the glitteries. The color that I purchased is called Pink Peppermint. It's just a beautiful variegated kind of pink color with the sparklies in it. This yarn is 92% superwash merino wool and 8% lyrics, so it's got that sparkly bit, and it's only 50 yards. So it's really, really cute, really, really nice. Not sure what socks or mittens I'm gonna use this for a contrast color with, but I thought it was fun to have this little mini skein. So that's what I purchased there too. Just a couple of those things. All right, and then the third shop that we visited is a shop called Needles and Hooks. This is over in Lake Forest Park, Washington. We had a little bit of trouble finding this shop. This is another shop that my mom and I had not been to before, so very new to us again. And it's kind of tucked away a little bit in this very kind of interesting shopping center. It's got like 2 entrances, and we were in one side and didn't realize that there was another entrance. So we kind of lost trying to find the shop, but some very kind people in the mall area that it's in helped us out to try to find this shop. So thank you if you watch this video. Thank you for helping us find it, because it was an adorable little shop actually. So Needles and Hooks, like I said, in Lake Forest Park, Washington. They're a really cool shop, very clean, very fun actually, very fun sounding shop. They had a bunch of little amigurumi crocheted up things. I think I got some shots of some of the dolls that they had displayed in there. They definitely had a lot of those stuffed animals in the area, and I really like that because I like making those myself. As you can see, I've got Benedict here. So I really, really liked those. And so but they also had a very good selection of yarns as well. I didn't purchase too much from their shop. I did purchase a couple of skeins of yarn that I'll show you and a few notions, but other than that, I didn't purchase too much, but they had a gorgeous selection. So if you're in that area, I think the Lake Forest Park area is very close to Bothell, Washington, which is kind of up north. Definitely too far for us down here in Puyallup, Washington, but if you're in the Bothell area, it's not too far from you. So very cool shop, very helpful staff. Just it's a very clean shop as well, very well organized, not overwhelming in any way. It's just a very nice shop, very set up, very well set up. It's like got like an L shape, and I thought that was kind of neat. So anyway, let me show you what I bought. So this is what I purchased here. And again, this shop had a knit project, free knit project, and free crochet project. The projects that this shop had were both hats, and I really liked both of them. I really liked the knitted hat but a little bit better, to be honest. And when I was browsing around the shop, they had their free knit hat project that they were offering to participants. They had that hat there. They had a sample of it knitted up in this yarn that I purchased. So this is the let's see, Blue Sky Fibers Woolstock worsted weight yarn. So it's a thicker yarn, very, very squishy. It is, let's see, it is just 100% fine Highland wool. There's about 123 yards in each skein, 50-gram skein. And I got it in these 2 colors here. So this is just a beautiful pine green, darker, and just sort of a lighter kind of pistachio green. Those are the colors that I purchased for the hat. I thought it looked really, really cool knitted up, and I really, really liked it. So I did get the free knit and crochet pattern that they had at the shop, and I just purchased this yarn to make that free hat pattern because I just thought it was really cool. It looked really nice knitted up. So that's the yarn that I purchased from that. That wasn't too expensive, actually. It was decently priced. And I bought a few other notions from them as well. I got some stitch markers. These are some of the stitch markers that they had there. I got the dark bronze color. They're just those hexagonal ones, which is a nice shape for stitch markers. And honestly, I can't have too many stitch markers, so I got stitch markers from Needles and Hooks. And I also got this cool little scissors. They're folding scissors, so I thought that was neat. You can just pop them in your knitting bag, and then you can have scissors for if you need something cut. thought that was cute. So I've got these little scissors there as well. All right, and the last and final shop that we visited happens to be one of my favorite shops in the local area, and that is All Wound Up Yarn Shop over in Edmonds, Washington. So Edmonds, Washington is probably, I think it took us around 40 or so minutes to get there from Lake Forest Park, Washington. So it wasn't that long, but definitely a long day driving. But it was definitely worth it because I wanted to do the yarn shop tour this year, but I wanted to make sure that we visited All Wound Up because I hadn't been there since I visited last year for the first time. So I really wanted to make sure that we visited that shop, and I'm so glad I did. Unfortunately, this time I did not do any filming in All Wound Up. I did that intentionally though because I really wanted to take the time to move through that shop slowly, really appreciate the different knitted and crocheted samples that they had there, and just really squish all the yarn, talk to some of the people there, and just really slowly enjoy the shop. I knew I was going to spend a lot of money at the shop too, which I did. So I really just wanted to take some time to enjoy that shop because, like I said, it is one of my favorites. So I don't have any footage, unfortunately, of that shop. I apologize, but I will pop up some footage of our visit to it last year if I still have it. I'm not sure if I still have that footage or not. I don't think I do, but if I do, I will go ahead and pop some of that footage on the side here so you can see. But anyway, so All Wound Up Yarn Shop over in Edmonds, Washington is co-owned by a mother and daughter I should say, duo. And the mother's name is Leslie, her daughter's name is Nona, and they're just an incredible group, really, of girls over there. They co-own the shop, but some of their staff is also there, and they're incredible as well. So it's owned by a mother and daughter, and it's a beautiful, beautiful shop. It's so quaint and so lovely. It's so well organized. They have everything organized by weight. I think I mentioned this last year, but they have everything organized by the yarn weight. So they've got a section for DK weight yarns, worsted weight, Aran weight, and fingering weight. They've got everything organized there, and I really like that. I think that's really, really helpful. I really like that in a yarn shop. I don't know why, but I just think that that's awesome. They have a whole bunch of knitted samples so you can get some inspiration for your next project. I really like that too. I actually purchased some yarn for one of the crocheted projects that they had on sample there. I really, really loved it. So yeah, I just really enjoy that shop. Like I said, the staff is really, really helpful, really, really warm and inviting, and I just really enjoy it. I really enjoy that shop. If you have a chance to visit that shop, if you're in the local area, I would highly recommend doing so. It's in Edmonds, Washington, and it's not too far from Stranded by the Sea. There's another yarn shop in Edmonds, Washington called Stranded by the Sea. It's near the water, and obviously Stranded by the Sea. And it's a beautiful yarn shop as well, but All Wound Up Yarn Shop is not too far from there. So if you have a chance to visit that one, I would highly just suggest doing so because it's such a cute little shop. I absolutely love it. So let me go ahead and show you what I purchased from there. So I purchased a little bit. First thing I picked out were these mini skeins. I got these mini skeins of the Dream in Color fingering weight yarn. When I purchased this, I thought it was the Dream in Color Smooshy Cashmere yarn, but it's just the Dream in Color Smooshy fingering weight yarn. It's I think the Superwash Merino. Let me see. Yeah, it's 85% superwash merino and 15% nylon. It's still really, really soft though. Not quite as soft as the Smooshy Cashmere, but still really nice. So this is the yarn that I purchased from, some of the yarn that I purchased from there. Just 4 little mini skeins. I actually have a plan for this. I plan on making the bubble sweater for dogs, for D'Artagnan, my dog. He's 6 pounds. I plan on making the bubble sweater. It's a pattern by Stephen West. It just came out a few days ago, so you can look at it. I think you can purchase the ebook for his dog sweater patterns. I think you can purchase the ebook on Ravelry like I did, or on Etsy, maybe some other places, I don't know. But yeah, I purchased the ebook, so I've got all of Stephen West's dog sweater patterns, and I really like the bubble sweater one so far. So I'm going to go ahead and make the bubble sweater pattern for D'Artagnan. I'm going to make the bubbles in these 3 colors here, and then the main color will be that bright green. So I thought that was super fun. So that's what I plan on doing with this yarn here. All right, and then I got one skein of this fingering weight yarn. This is Red Stag fiber yarn. This is the Estate fingering weight. It is 100% superwash merino wool, 3-ply yarn. This has about 490 yards in it, and this is the colorway called Bordeaux. So it's just a really beautiful deep burgundy color yarn. Very solid. It's got a little bit of variegation, but not much. So I did purchase this yarn, and then I also purchased this beautiful Dusty Rose yarn. This is Lana Grossa yarn, which I've never used before, but it's really, really nice. So I've got this Lana Grossa lace Seta mulberry yarn. This is a fingering weight yarn. Really, really nice. It's got 35% silk mulberry, 35% baby alpaca, and 30% merino wool. And it's really, really nice. It's got a really beautiful sheen with that silk in it, and it's just really, really soft, really squishy, just really beautiful. And I really liked this Dusty Rose kind of color. So I got actually a couple of skeins of that because this yarn only has 175 meters in it, which is, I don't know, I'm going to mess up the math, but I think it's roughly like 190-ish yards, something like that. I don't know, I'd have to look it up. But yeah, I got 2 skeins of this, so I've got that. And then the last thing I purchased from All Wound Up is a bag. So one of the co-owners, the daughter, Nona, she actually has, she makes bags as well and little notions. She's got her company called Nona Pearl Creations on top of the yarn shop. So, and she sells these bag creations at the yarn shop. So I went ahead and purchased a new knit bag from them. This is the bag that I got here. It's just a fabric bag. It's got a really nice flowery inside. It's just fabric, like I said, so it's very movable. It is drawstring, so you can like put your project in here and close it up with the drawstring. It's really, really nice. It is quite large in person. It's a really good size, so you could fit a really nice size project in this bag. I thought it was a really nice purchase, so I went ahead and got that. I really liked the pattern, or not the pattern, I'm sorry, the fabric that this is made with. It's got the animals, so it's got an alpaca here in the middle, a few pigs, a rooster, and some cow. And I really liked the fabric for some reason, so I went ahead and got that. So this is the bag that I got from All Wound Up. That's it, you guys. That's all the yarn that I purchased. Those are all 4 of the stores that we visited. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed walking around and visiting those yarn shops. Thank you for coming along with me. If you stuck out this long, it was a good time. While we were at Tolt Yarn, one of the ladies that work there actually told me about another festival coming up. So this festival they have done every year for many, many years. It's a yarn festival called the Fiber Fusion Northwest. So I have a little bit of information for Fiber Fusion Northwest. I found it. I found it in my little passport here from the Puget Sound local yarn shop tour. So let me see. Yeah. So Fiber Fusion Northwest, it's the Natural Fiber Expo over in Monroe, Washington. And I was going to go to this festival back in 2020, but they canceled it. They canceled it during the COVID era, I suppose you could call it. They canceled the show, unfortunately, and we weren't able to go. And then they canceled it, I think, again in 2021, so I wasn't able to go then. And then I just sort of gave up, and I didn't realize that they were holding it again. So, but they are. They're holding it on June 3rd and 4th of this year, so just in a couple of weeks. So, we do plan on going, me and my mom. I don't know if my mom will be able to join, but I definitely plan on going for, I don't know if June 3rd and 4th is a Saturday, Sunday or a Friday, Saturday. I'm not sure. I'd have to check, but definitely I'll go for one of those days. And I do plan on taking you guys along. I will take you guys along to the Fiber Fusion Northwest Festival. They're going to have 70 plus vendors. They have different classes. They have a fleece show and sale. And then they also have fiber animals, demos, fiber arts show, and more. So I'm very, very excited for the Fiber Fusion Northwest. I can't wait to see all the animals. I love seeing all the alpacas and stuff like that. So yeah, I do plan on going to that, so I will take you guys along. And then obviously I'm going to be taking you guys along on the festival that I told you about last time, the Flock Fiber Festival, that's going to be held in it's going to be held in Seattle, Washington in August, the first weekend of August, and I will be taking you guys for that as well. So yeah, so those are the upcoming videos that I have planned for you guys, and then obviously my regular podcast where I can share with you, sit down and share with you all of the projects that I'm currently making, and maybe some that I've even finished, hopefully. Fingers crossed. So yeah, that's it for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you come back, and I hope you have a great time. Happy knitting!